Yeah. Let's do it. Here we go. Good morning. Oh, are you by yourself? Ah, morning, Pearls. Mr. Nick, please tell me, what's going to happen to Mystic Maya? I'm sorry, we don't know yet. Investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple. Oh, I see. So is Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick locks in the training hall? No. She's the defendant in this case, so she can't be at the inner temple. She's required to be here in court. Then how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby? I have to admit, it's kind of strange. This is probably Godot. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Oh, no, it's Edgeworth. Edgeworth? What's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? The prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession. Or so I heard. Francisca Von Karma, what are you up to? I know what you're thinking, but Francisca isn't going to be the prosecutor today. It's Godot. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Godot? Godot. Francisca is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern. Oh, she's the one trying to undo the trick locks? The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's... Exactly. She's been out there all night, trying to remove those trick locks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly and we receive some good news soon. Yeah. Thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touche. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. It's strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all of this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you passed your cold on to someone else, literally. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Oh, shit. Thanks. Was that a confession? So, something that Mina was talking about when Luca was playing through this game is the fact that the lead writer didn't really kind of realize that there was so much room to interpret that, like, Phoenix and Edgeworth are a thing. Or at least, like, have feelings for one another. So it's kind of funny to get to the end of this game, where, like, I don't know when that interview happened, so maybe it's after this game even was written, but, like, with Edgeworth literally saying that, I feel like it's almost kind of an acknowledgement that, like, we're going to, like, in writing throw you guys a bone, because, yeah. I still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. Circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Dunim. No. I mean Miss Misty Faye. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. And what that woman is really after. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hazakura Temple. Your Honor? What are you... Ooh, me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in the chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Good job, Phoenix. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him. I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers. That explains a lot. My poor brother. He looked a bit pale. Not to mention, it's sad that he couldn't be here. It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. We of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Well said, Mr. Godot. I understood exactly what you said. At least up until the end, anyway. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There is only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. Coffee. the bit of darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. So then you mean... forget it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today, she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazagura Temple has a confession to make. Confession? The defendant... Iris. Why didn't she discuss this with me first? Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession. Hold on a sec. No, Maya's outfit is different. Although there is spare clothes in the sacred chamber. I was about to say, like, are they gonna try and do a thing where, like, so Iris and Dahlia would look basically identical, as the game is basically established. And anyone channeling Dahlia would look like her. Is the plan, like, it would be a big twist for, like, Iris to take the stand, confess to everything, cease the channeling, and it ends up being whoever was channeling Dahlia? I don't know how, like, realistic that is. Hello, Bonnie. How you doing? Like, that seems a bit far-fetched, but anyway. Oh, excuse me. Hold on a sec. I'm doing alright. I slept in, so I'm late to start, but... otherwise good. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules. My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple. Witness, is there something that you want to confess to? Yes. But first, I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore. It's alright. What is it? Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident. Are you actually confessing? I'm alert because setting up some new tech, but happy gaming. Oh, no. That's all good. Wow, words. I was about to say something and then it just completely escaped me. Yeah, you don't have to apologize for that. It's all good. But yeah, happy tech tinkering. Fingers crossed it's been going better than mine recently. Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Dunim? No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. Okay, so she's saying that she was the one who... I would presume that then she's the one who made the body look like it was stabbed by the statue. Which would mean that she took the sword, or she took the murder weapon out of Elise and put the... yeah, okay. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of a mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard where I desecrated it. What? Order in the court! Order! Witness, are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder? Yes, that's correct. What? 3 minutes in court and I'm already covered in a cold sweat. Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happens to be that in this case, it's to murder. Isn't that right, Mr. Trite? So this is the confession they were conferring about. Pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris's testimony was all a lie. Crumpled up and shoved into a pocket. Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your actions? Iris is covering up for someone? Ugh, I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle or a life jacket. I've been at Hazakura Temple since I was a little girl. Hi, Wiley. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Korean tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family. I'm sorry, main family? Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself, if need be, to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Korean channeling technique. Mystic Maya Fey. Huh? They're really gonna implicate Maya. Oh boy. Sorry, give me 1 sec. Alright, that should stop that for a while. Wake up and smell the coffee, Trite. She's naming Maya? I guess I was half on track. Order in the court. So not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer? I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her. That's ridiculous. Maya could never do any... The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime? Yes, Your Honor. Thought I was prepared for the unexpected. I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction. The real murderer. I went to the inner temple that night and saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it. So it was in self-defense? Yes. Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya. I wonder if Maya was channeling Dahlia. Ooh, if Elise knew about the letter, she would have known that someone was going to try and, or that Pearls was going to try and channel Dahlia. So if Elise was over at the inner temple, it's possible that she asked Maya to channel Dahlia instead. And then there was a confrontation? But that would still mean that you went to the inner temple, which... That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya. You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the instincts of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. And that the person who did go was that woman. Iris even admitted it. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. Okay, I gotta press that immediately. Sister Iris, your testimony has changed quite a bit since yesterday. You stated yesterday that on the night of the murder, you didn't go to the Inner Temple.
Objection!
Did she now? Too bad for you, what she said yesterday doesn't mean much today. By the way, where were you when she claimed that she didn't go? It was in the Inner Temple's training hall. It's not permissible in court, yeah. Private conversation between the two of you does not constitute testimony. That would be properly described as hearsay. What do you have to say, witness? I just couldn't tell him the truth at the time. Mystic Maya, she's your girlfriend, isn't she? Oh my fucking god, really? I didn't want to be the one to break it to you that I saw her commit murder. There. We all understand how difficult this is for you. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. What did you witness in the temple garden? Well, Your Honor. So Mystic Maya mystically strike me with a staff. You're saying that the victim attacked Maya? I mean, Miss Faye? Yes. It was a truly frightening scene. Mystic Maya was struck hard on the head and looked like she was going to collapse. What were you doing at the time? Why didn't you stop them from fighting? I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I was frightened. I couldn't move. I couldn't even speak. I was in such shock. That's perfectly understandable, my dear. This doesn't sound right. I don't believe this testimony for a minute. What happened after that? While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, attack. She moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon. Wait a minute. What was this weapon? It was some kind of dagger. A dagger, huh? And Elise Nim tried to stab her with this weapon. To kill Miss Faye? Yes, exactly. You look like I did after mistakenly took I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. You have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Do I have a problem with Iris's testimony? I mean, the dagger was never recovered, so where the fuck is it? I guess I could, like, really just say that, haha, it's in the snow somewhere, of course we didn't find it, but, like, people have been canvassing that area for days now. I'm gonna push it. Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony. You do? But this witness is your own client. Yes, well, nevertheless. That's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony. Yes, sir. Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that. Listen, Gramps. I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Ugh. Okay, now, let's continue. She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from inside her robe. She threw her staff away. Mystic Elise was trying to kill Mystic Maya. I think that's why she wanted a more lethal weapon. That's true. It's not easy to inflict a deadly blow with a staff. Sister Iris, let me make sure I've got this straight. The victim herself chose to throw away her staff? Yes, that's what I saw. Is there anything odd about that, Mr. Wright? Yeah, it's odd, alright. Mystic Elise attacked Mystic Maya with the dagger. I'm sure of this. I mean, it doesn't make sense that... Okay, so this is a thing where I'm actually not sure if I should pull this piece of evidence or not. Because I think it was Gumshoe who said something along the lines of, look, we both know about this staff with the blade in it. If... if we show the... If people find out we could be in trouble... But, like, this has been a regular thing that's been happening throughout the game, and no one's given a shit. So, like... And this directly... This would contradict what's going on. If Elisa's staff is a fucking sword, why would she throw away the staff to grab a dagger? Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Unless Elise was the one that channeled Dahlia. Then Dahlia wouldn't know about the... Ooh. I'm gonna try this. Yeah, okay. Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events. Huh? Miss Unim throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me. But you can... All you can do with the staff is hit someone. Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but... The victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. Ah. If Elise Unim really had wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she had already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? That was an impressive bit of investigating, right? I never would have thought there was a sword hidden in that staff. But even so, how should I put this? A long sword is unwieldy and thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. What the fuck are you talking about, Godot? Maya was stumbling. She had plenty of time to... Hi, North. How's it going? Yeah, morning stream. Okay, North, I'm glad you just walked into this stream. Godot is claiming that if you were in close quarters with someone you had just, like, stumbled, who you've hit once and is stumbling, he's saying that it would be stupid to pull out a sword instead of a dagger. I think he's full of shit. Like, I get that obviously the blade is longer, but, like, if the person you just hit is stumbling, like, you can back up. It's... that's really fucking flimsy reasoning for me, but, yeah. Maybe that's why she chose a dagger over her blade. Well... Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. Actually, it's very important to her, but the important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. But there is something strange about this whole testimony. Unless the sword is a dedicated two-hander like a Zweihander or an Odachi, creating any kind of space is enough to go for a sword. Yeah, like, that's kind of what I think, right? Like... Yeah, obviously, if you're using, like, the Dragon Slayer, sure, you don't want to try and swing that in very close combat. But, like, if a person you are attacking has, like, stumbled, you could probably take a step back to pull out a sword that's, like, embedded in a staff. Although, I guess the Shichishido is actually pretty long, and I think we established that this sword is about as long. Yeah, either way. It's honestly not a big deal, because the point is that Godot's like, okay, so she pulled for a sword instead. So what? Well, Mr. Wright, the prosecution has a point. Very well, Your Honor. The defense will now present evidence to back its argument. Mr. Wright, I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted. Because Miss Elise Unim would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. Yeah. At least Unim would never have attacked Maya Fey. How can you be so sure? Because the victim's real name was not Elise Unim. Her real name was Misty Fey. Fey? No. Not Misty Fey. Who is this Misty Fey? Is she related to... Misty Fey is the master of the Kurain channeling technique. She is also the mother of Maya Fey. Are you serious? Is it really true, Mr. Wright? Was Elise Unim actually the great mystic Misty? There's no doubt about it. Looks like Iris had no idea. I can hardly believe it. The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one she hasn't seen in 17 years. Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing. Order in the court. Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented... 1, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during the fight, and 2, that the two people battling to the death were mother and daughter, despite the facts being believable when taken on their own. When taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe. Listen, there's nothing in this world that is impossible, except for one little thing. But yes, what is this one little impossible thing? You still don't get it. You think maybe my beans are under-roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps. Could you get to your point? I heard this witness's confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee. Godot, do you, like, drink 50 cups of coffee a day? Christ, man. You're going to ruin your health, my friend. Actually, considering what we know about him now that hasn't been brought up in court yet, that might actually make sense that he drinks so much fucking coffee. Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. And he discovered this little beauty. Is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing? Obviously, Your Honor. But do you not notice something else? Now that you mention it, if you look closely, there appears to be blood on it. Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? Huh? The pine tree? The dagger was stuck in the backside of the pine tree. What? Is he talking about this? When the last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women, this little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree. Which means blood on this dagger belongs to the victim, correct? Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of coffee. A cup of morning coffee. Didn't you say it was your 8th just a few minutes ago? Yeah, Godot would lose track. He's drinking that fucking much. Okay, I know coffee isn't especially unhealthy on balance, but I feel like that has to be bad. Do bad things to your liver. Oh yeah. Surely. Like, that is so much fucking caffeine your body has to process for one. Like... Yeah. Oh, excuse me. We'll get to that. I didn't have enough time to get the blood analysed on such short notice. In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Also, hypercaffeination can kill. It sure can. Furthermore, I order that a blood test be performed on it immediately. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Do you mind the gory details on that? I don't mind. Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. Dagger added to the court record. Found behind a tree in the inner temple garden. The blood is being analysed now. Now then. Testimony we've just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible. Not her interpretation, though. Cute girls never lie. Ever. I don't know what to make of you, Godot. So in severe cases, it is possible to drink so much caffeine that the heart rips itself open from overstimulation. Christ. Okay, yeah, that tracks, because, like, the muscles just go haywire and... Ugh. Damn. Fuck. Metal as hell, though. In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court. About what, Your Honor? About the incident you saw. The battle between the two women. Yes, Your Honor. The battle. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff, but then she dodged Mystic Maya's next attack and stole her weapon. So, I don't know whether to take this as completely accurate, but the idea that someone was being channeled in this may be contradicted by the fact that Maya looks the same and Elise looks the same. There is one other possibility in this case, but I don't want to think about it. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive, with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed. That was a very heartbreaking story. I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Mystic Misty's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore? That seems reasonable. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff, but then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was on the defensive, with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed. We don't have a photo of the crime scene, do we? I don't think we do. Well, we don't have a photo of the, Actually, wait, no. No, that's bullshit. She was stabbed in the back. I would buy that they didn't recognize each other, except that I'm pretty sure psychics from the same family using the same technique would absolutely be able to sense each other. Yeah, I don't know if that's ever been established. But one thing that is of note here is that anyone who channels a person changes into that person. So the fact that Maya looks like Maya and Elise looks like Elise, is, or would be, if that's accurate, evidence that neither of them were channeling. Or at least, like, fully channeling. I suppose there's still, like, a chance that partial things going through, Maya losing control, blah, blah, blah. However, one thing I do want to note is that this testimony is provided from Iris's perspective, and I think Iris is full of shit at the moment. So it's possible that she's telling us she saw Maya when that's not who she saw. Because she was, in fact, channeling someone. We know that someone was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne that night. We don't know who, but we know someone did. And at the moment, it's looking like it might have been Maya. Something about you just isn't right today, Iris. Huh? Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions. What do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony? According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct? Yes, that's right. But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right? Yes, I think so. But, according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. Ah. This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony. Why are you lying, Iris? For fuck's... Well, I know why she's lying, because she's naive as fuck about the rest of her family not being selfish, evil, fucking... I shouldn't say evil, that's too, like, flat. Selfish, power-seeking, vengeful fucks. Minus Pearls. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? It's simple. People are like books. You've all got a font on front and back. You get my drift? No. Is that all you have to say? I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. Could you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away useful stuff, the people finding being mother and daughter, and now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach. Godot is trying way too hard to have something clever to say, adorable. Yeah, like, you could definitely read, like, Godot as, like, it's not exactly toxic masculinity, but he's the exact, like, fucking stereotype of a man who believes himself to be far better than others, and thus inherits a lot of thoughts that he hasn't actually processed, really, and that sometimes manifests as him, like, going on rants like that, where the fucking point he's making doesn't make any sense. Like, what with his, like, complete dismissal of Francisca, because, I don't know, apparently she had a spine. His, like, babying of other women in court. His, like, yeah, it's just like, oh my fucking god. I don't have the phrase for it. I feel like there's a phrase that would actually sum him up, but I can't honestly think of it right now. Yeah, he just gives me vibes of a particular type of man who is really, really sad, all things considered. And now she falsely claims that the victim was stabbed in the stomach. There certainly are some inconsistencies. Well, Iris, how about it? Well, it's just... If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? That is a lot coming from you, Godot. There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee. Oh fuck, here he goes. To pick out each one requires total concentration and the use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said? Prosecutor Godot, explain yourself. The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. Okay. So her testimony isn't worth anything. Alright, that's just self-induced sensory hallucination. Yeah, potentially. Human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light. Light? Well, we know the torches were lit, so no. Incorrect. By the way, did you know? Asakura has a rule that on nights when an acolyte is at the inner temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. I did wonder what the stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Well, they were... Well, from the angle we saw before, the light was behind the two, so she may have actually not seen the details clearly. Normally, yes, Your Honor. But according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern. impossible. It hadn't been used in a long time, and the good wick was no good. Oh, and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to have been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. It could have been a faint light coming from the training hall, but that's all. Most enlightening. Yes, that illuminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. Godot, you have the only thing you have proven here is that we literally cannot take Iris's testimony seriously, because she didn't fucking see what was happening. For all we know, the fact that she saw Maya and Elise is wrong as well. You dipshit. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. You can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, trite? No! No! His oblique metaphors are overwhelming me. Order, order, order! Here, Your Honor. Let me present the stone lantern into evidence. Maybe it will rekindle the flame of truth in your mind. The lantern from the inner temple garden was not lit the night of the crime. Why is the judge just sitting there with that look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? Is that flame too hot? This lantern. There's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood. Oh boy. So the judge didn't know about that yet. Written in... Is he playing with this? Like, I actually cannot I'm starting to think he's either a master troll or he's just this bad at his fucking job. Like, what the hell? Written in blood? It says Maya upside down. No, just rotate it 180 degrees. I'm sure that says Leon. What the? Oh, yes. That's right. After being cornered then stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing that on the stone lantern behind her. Oh my god! Oh my... Wait! Is that thing from Danganronpa a reference to this? That's like way too similar to not... Holy shit. With the blood that was draining out of her body. That's absurd. Certainly looks that way. Objection. Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about? What do you mean, what are we all talking about? Wait a minute, can he not see red? Wait, his visor is red. It's the only way he can actually see. Can he not actually see the color red? Or distinguish the color red from, like, white? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, if you put red cellophane over your eyes, you cannot distinguish the color red from other colors. Only blue and green light get through, and that's the like distinctions you see. Everything you see is red, but because red is... Oh my god, good. Oh, okay, you know what? I take it back. There's been a couple of other things where Godot's been like, what are you all talking about? And I'm starting to wonder if that was actually because of the visor. Like, if anything red came up in a case, he was just like, what the fuck are you all talking about? Or, yeah, no, hold on. Actually, no. Did he say ketchup in that case? Oh, I'd have to look back, but that would be hilarious. That would be amazing. What do you mean, what are you talking about? We're talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern it's as clean as a whistle. Could it be... He can't see the bloody writing at all. Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. So that's what he meant by that. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot? Okay then. Let's move on. Godot is literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from from caffeine overdose. Not yet, at least. I believe it has now been established that Miss Junim was killed by Maya Fey. That's just wrong. Now it's time to turn our attention to you. Yes, sir. After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. Sister Iris's cover-up. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple, and... I used the Shichishido to alter the way the wound looked. Is Bikini's testimony part of the evidence? Shows Hazakura Temple in the surrounding area, hanging scroll, photo of Elise, Iris's hood, weather data, Shichishido. Has the victim's blood and the suspect's fingerprints on it, but is not the murder weapon. Lisa's autopsy report, tracks photo, crime photo, sketch, crystal sphere, letter, dagger. No, we don't. Okay. So you moved the body? Yes, I was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fey clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise Junim was actually Misty Fey. I've committed a terrible sin. A terrible trick of fate. I believe you're looking for Twist of Fate, Your Honor. I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but... You were spotted by the head nun, correct? Yes. That's why I couldn't go back. Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future of Master Right? So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple, and I used the Shichishido to alter the way the wound looked. Actually, hold on. I want to press this. So you waited until everything was over before making a move? No, it's not like that. Objection! She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little timid. Yes, I suppose that's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion. Isn't it your job as the judge to mediate the argument? It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that it finally dawned on her what she had done. Thought it was my duty to protect the future. I don't care about that. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. Why did you do that? Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene. You removed her body all by yourself? Yes, I did. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow. Snow, huh? So, one thing we don't have at the moment is a photo of where this stone lantern is. And we saw that the snow directly around the stone lantern had been, like, artificially, like, moved. It was, like, a perfect square around the stone lantern. It wasn't from heat or anything, so much as we could tell. I would presume, like, at the time I was thinking, oh yeah, that's because of blood. There was clearly blood spilled here, so... yeah, it was removed to remove all of the blood. But if I'm going off of that, then the fact that she was dragged through the snow... I don't know if I believe there wouldn't have been some amount of blood around there. Because Elise also died of blood loss, so presumably she was bleeding. I don't know whether I can bring this up though, because as Francisca established in the last trial, if you stab someone, like, yeah, there's going to be blood, right? But... well, actually, no, that's not true. Because the dagger was thrown away, so nothing was... the dagger was thrown away, so nothing was plugging the wound, which would mean... yeah, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, shit. I pressed the wrong thing. Why did you do that? Because I didn't want... yeah, I did it all by myself through the snow, huh? Okay, that... yeah, this is the important bit, I think. It's pretty amazing you could make it all the way across. That's a rickety old bridge. It looks worse than it is. It's surprisingly sturdy despite its age. It's like they say, idiots are too stupid to catch even a simple cold. But there's one other thing that bothers me. Why not just throw the body into the Eagle River? That is a very good question. It would have been much easier than dragging it all the way to Hazakura Temple. I thought that it would still cast too much suspicion on Mystic Maya. That's why I tried to take the body as far away as possible. Right, to show it somewhere else so it couldn't... it makes less sense that she could have done it. Because obviously, if someone was killed on the, like, little island that the Inner Temple is on, then throwing the body into the river is, like, the easiest way to get rid of it. It's a little, but... huh. Makes perfect sense to me. For the time being. Anyway, what did you do after you crossed the bridge? I used the snowmobile to carry back to Hazakura Temple, and... the snowmobile? I knew that would show up sooner or later. Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hazakura Temple to Dusky Bridge. This is the part that was in question the other day. Can I ask for more details? Let me hear more about this snowmobile ride. Well, it was very cold that night, so I rode it all the way to the foot of the bridge. I'm sorry, witness, but now I've got a problem with your testimony. Excuse me? No. What are you up to now? That night, after the head nun left the remainder of the training to you, she said she walked from the Inner Temple back to Hazakura Temple. Yes, I'm fairly certain that's what the record indicates. Let's recall her comments on the subject. Maybe... when I made it back to Hazakura Temple... it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. The snowmobile was in front of the main gate. This is one of those contradictions, wouldn't you say? Interesting that Godot is doing this. Order! Mr. Godot, why are you pointing out contradictions in the witness's testimony? Let's just say I like things to be neat and tidy, okay? Well, maybe Sister Bikini missed it. Yes, maybe she didn't see it. You think she missed it? That doesn't sound right. Whatever. Even I don't think this is decisive enough to warrant any more time or effort. It's just... you'd better be careful in your testimony. That's all I wanted to say. Smart little cookie like you shouldn't have any trouble understanding that. Yes, sir. What was that all about? Why would Godot want to give me a hint? Well, very well then, let's continue with the testimony. So you transported the body by snowmobile, all the way to the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Yes, I thought that way Mystic Mine would not be suspected. That's what I thought, anyway. And then I... Yeah, you used the Shichishido, that's not... I want to press this again and talk about the tracks. If you really did move her body by snowmobile, then there would be tracks left in the snow, right? Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks. This picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from that ride? Yes, I think they are. But I can only see one set of tracks here. I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left Hazakura Temple. I see. Snow was falling, huh? And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there are such fresh-looking tracks. How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony? Hey Charles, how's it going? So, Iris claims that she took the snowmobile to the bridge and then took it back. In terms of the tracks, that would line up, because she would have driven it to the bridge by the time the snow... well, while the snow was still falling, to cover the tracks. She then would have, she then would have taken it back when the snow was not there, and the tracks would have appeared. However, Bikini says that when she got back to the inner temple... Wait, was that before or after? No, it would have been... It would have been before Iris got back. That the snowmobile was at the gate. Unless she dragged the... I'm gonna say that's very important. When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, I'd like the statement Iris just made to add it to the testimony. But does it have something to do with the case? All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record. This should be fun. You, let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we? Yes, sir. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Is that true? No, that's not true. Wait, what? That statement contradicts this evidence. Oh, god damn it. Wait. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Hang on. Hold out to... I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of Korean channeling techniques, so I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across the dusky bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple, and I used the Shichishido to alter the way the wound looked. By the time the murder... Okay, I'll press it. There have been a lot of contradictions in your testimony so far. This time, are you sure it's all true? Yes, I am. When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks were so clear. That's right. I'm certain of it. I think I've trapped her this time. I see how you think. Snow, huh? What is going on here? If the snow really had stopped by the time of the murder, it'd mean there's a bigger hole in her story than that movie, the Grid Revelations. Phew. No fucking clue what that is. Huh. Well then, Mr. Schreiss, perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us? Let's see what's up your sleeve, or rather, at the end of your index finger. I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why would she want to do this? There's only one reason I can think of. I think the game has lost me. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Was that referencing the Matrix Revolution? Yeah, maybe. The grid. I see. Yeah, that's the only. Yeah, that's the only thing that really makes sense. By the time of the murder, the snow had stopped. I don't know what the game is trying to tell me here. I already tried to show the weather report, and that didn't work. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna press this again. Yes, I am. When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks were so clear. That's right. I'm certain of it. See how you think. Snow, huh? Oh, what is going on here? If the snow really had stopped by the time of the murder, it'd mean there's a bigger hole in her story than that movie, The Grid Revelations. What? I don't know what it's trying to... By the time the murder took place, the snow had stopped. So, at the time that Maya and Elise were fighting, the snow had stopped. Oh. That was buried in snow. God, yeah, it didn't have that it was buried in snow as a piece of evidence in there, so, like, yeah, fair enough, but... I don't know what else... I mean, I'm not... I feel like this is actually solid, though. Like, if the Crystal Sphere was still in the vicinity of that fight when this took place... Faulty, yeah. Fuck. Fuck. I'm at a loss. I don't know what I could possibly present here that would suggest, like, anything. Have I presented this yet? No. It didn't work anyway. No, not save, Jesus. Oh, man. This has really lost me. What could it possibly be? I am at a complete loss here. I don't know what this is trying to... Okay, alright, let's try and back this up. So, what we're trying to establish here is whether or not the snow was stopped by the time that Elise and Maya were fighting, basically. Now, we know that the snow was falling until 10:50 p.m. God, this whole timeline thing is also fucking with me too. Like, actually, let's pull up the weather data. It was snowing from 7 till 10:50 p.m. So we know that, this has got to be a timing thing, right? Oh. Yeah, wait, what the fuck? Hold on. So if the snow had stopped at 10:50 p.m., lightning struck the bridge before the snow stopped. And if that's the case, then how the fuck did you get over the bridge? But what? What would I... Like, you weren't dragging a body across a flaming bridge. Like, fuck off. That's... that's not possible. And if the crime happened at a... Isn't this what's contradictory, then? Didn't I present this? Oh, fuck me. Honestly, this is why I'm envious of Luca playing with Mina. Because having someone that can kind of, like, at least, like, nudge you in the right direction is nice with this kind of game, especially streaming it. Whereas I'm here by myself, just, like, if I go down the wrong thought path and it takes hours for me to get back, like, there's no one helping me trying to fucking put it back together, you know? Diz, who comes around the stream a fair bit, is probably the only person that's helped me out in that, or is the only person I think that could help me out in that way, being one of the only people I think who's regularly in the chat who has played this game. And I don't want to just kind of look it up, because, like, it's not very fun, but at this stage, like, fucking... like, the game has literally lost me. I don't understand what it's trying to point out here. God, I wish this game had a log that I could look back on to like, look through the conversation that's been had so far. But at the very least, it seems unlikely that the snow would have stopped by the time the murder took place, because then that would mean that Iris moved the body across a burning bridge. Like, I don't know about that one. God. Can't look up anything that's not, like, spoilers. But, you know what I really appreciate? The people who write up, like, completely spoiler-free, descriptions of, or hints and stuff like that for, video games. Especially things like Danganronpa and, Phoenix Wright. But yeah, like, reading through, like, the things that I've already done, like, everything I can find is just way too spoilery. Spoiler-free people are the backbone of society. Indeed. Absolutely. What is my duty to do? So I moved the body and dragged it across. I dragged it behind. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, can I... Okay, I'm gonna let this play out. I don't know if this is gonna route us back to the same cross-examination. You claimed that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. But I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, why didn't you just let me contradict that in the last statement? Why didn't you let me present the weather data in either of them? If this was the point that was going to be made, why didn't you just let me contradict the last statement instead of this one? I don't know about that one. Hey, newest girl, how's it going? But I'm sorry, Iris, that just isn't possible. What? This is weather data from the night of the murder. No, you have to present the right thing in the exact right time. I'm tired. Yeah, word. Or mood, rather. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50 p.m. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time. Why do you say that? Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and it caught on fire. What did you say? The bridge, it was on fire? Yeah, you don't mean to say you didn't know about it? It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down. What? But it can't be. Yeah, it looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney. Order, order, order! The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body. Witness, even my patience has its limits. Any further lying and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Objection!
The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Trite. Old man. Oh. Me? How dare you? Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. Squat? The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right? Yes, of course, but whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Dunim was discovered in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. And second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witnessed Iris desecrating Elise Dunim's body. Makes a good point on both accounts. If that's right, I'm not lying. What are you claiming this time? I wasn't myself at all that night. So my memory is still somewhat hazy. Wait a minute, did you channel... You have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy?
Objection!
It is only human to err. If you're so perfect, try it. Maybe you can explain this for the court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt down. But somehow the body travelled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick. Ugh. Well, not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way she got across the burnout bridge. Unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth. It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. See what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Godot, those aren't mutually exclusive. God damn it, man. Alright then. Witness, let's hear your testimony once more. About what, Your Honor? You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contains a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. Will this be her final testimony? So what have I missed? No, that's not how that works. There's a reason why telling someone to prove a negative is a logical fallacy. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, this is not how that works, Godot. Like, fucking, please. So what have you missed? Not too much. We're kind of going through the motions of trying to figure out, like, the circumstances under which Elise died. We haven't really gotten to, like, the big revelations yet, so Moving the body. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there is a way to cross a burning bridge? No. Oh no. So it was just a misunderstanding. I see. This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident. It certainly has burnt. No, it certainly has burnt to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's. Hold on. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall. Clearly it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition. Oh my god. As I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth. Maya will be accused of murder. That's right. I'm only going to say it one more time. It is only human to err, and only humans can spot the errors of our ways. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. Ain't that the truth? Alright, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body, so I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Is the snow still falling? Doesn't really matter that much, or are you saying that there is a way to cross a burning bridge? There's potentially a way to get across. I can't believe this is about to fucking happen. Mr. Wright, don't you think that sounds a bit silly? A dead body crossing a burning bridge. Did anyone actually witness such a thing? Oh my fucking god. Oh no. We're really doing this, aren't we? Huh. There was. I don't think you'd call someone like that a witness. Fair. After all, a dream isn't the same as actually seeing something. Come all this way, so I ought to just figure out, yep, burning bridge, even if I don't know the exact answer yet. I'll start by examining all my evidence and see where it takes me. Gotta be like a shark. If I don't keep moving, I'm gonna be good as dead. I can't believe we're gonna fucking present this as evidence, but... A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. What? You're saying it's possible. Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's being pulled out of thin air. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. That was good setup. Who is it? Who is this witness? I can't chicken out here. I've got to keep on the attack and go, go, go. Miss Elise Unim's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice. Larice Unim. Brilliant. Highly gifted. Apprentice? Remember what he said in his testimony? That night, he was at the Mountain Shack Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen this sketch before. Hold on. I need to look at something. It's honestly not a bad sketch. It really isn't. Like, it's honestly a really neat piece, but... I think you've all seen this sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night. Are you serious? Today's not April Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument? Uh-oh. Judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Huh. Well, it's right. There's nowhere there's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does this sketch prove anything? Yes. I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. You're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with this sketch? Wait. Oh my god, was I right about the perspective? Upside down. Why did Godot say that? Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show? I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix. Look carefully and think it over. This sketch drawn by Laurice Dunim is... upside down? Is she supposed to be in the water? I'm not sure. So, I had a thing about this before, right? Where, like, we were talking about, what the scene would look like from where Larry was, standing, right? So he is at a lower elevation than the bridge, looking up at it when this happens, right? So he's, like, around here when he's looking at the bridge. Now, from that perspective, the suspension lines are moving out towards you, and I believe up. Hang on, let me have a look at the... There's a photo of the bridge, so I can look at that. Oh, no, they actually kind of hang... They hang down. Oh my god. Oh my god. Of course the victim was flying through the air. You can see it right there in the sketch. Whoosh. You know, you're starting to remind me of yesterday's witness. What? That was the last thing I wanted to hear. Do you have any evidence that the victim flew through the air? Just so you know, we haven't discovered a giant human catapult at the inner temple yet. Ugh, I wish they had. Even if you're a lousy lawyer, at least you're one cup's worth of entertainment. I think we should skip the penalty this time. Must be some way, I just know it. There must be a way to use Larry's sketch to show the truth of what happened. Alright then, the witness will now return to her testimony. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, fuck. Really? Oh, god damn it. Oh, fuck me. Okay. Cables were on the wrong side. Wouldn't it be a complete contradiction? Potentially. Like, what I'm thinking is... Okay, so... Let's assume that Larry is actually looking from the same perspective. Looking at the bridge from a similar perspective to this, right? The difference is that... Well, I guess it's a complete contradiction, because this is upside down. He was literally lying backwards, looking back up to the bridge. So he saw the suspension lines that were sagging, going upward, which would mean that this body wasn't above the bridge, it was below it. And we have the photo that shows that there is clearly a suspension line hanging from the bridge. It's far-fetched, but you could swing. Alright. Yeah, but, like, so, I guess the thing is that what I was interpreting, like, this bit here, what I was interpreting as, exactly what happened is like, no, this is what happened, it's just upside down. As opposed to a complete contradiction. But the fact is that we're assuming she was flying, not... Yeah. So it is a contradiction. That's honestly on me. I misinterpreted what it was going for there. Something is obviously funny about this sketch. I'm no art critic, but even I can see that. No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Maurice Dunim stated it over and over, that this sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if we're to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it. It contradicts reality? This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to that finger-pointing thing again. Okay, try. So what exactly contradicts reality as we know it? The suspension lines?
Take that!
It's this wire connected to the bridge. The wire? Huh. Is that the thing that contradicts reality? It is indeed. Then show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality.
Take that!
That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct? Yes. Now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But on the actual Dusky Bridge... Oh, Jehoshaphat. Wow! That is a phrase I have not heard in a fucking long time. Jumping Jehoshaphat. The wires are below the guard wires. What? I've never heard of that before. God, I wish I could remember the origin of that. Actually, you know what? Let's look it up right now. Fuck it. Originated in the US during the 19th century craze for minced oaths, pseudo swear words that replace profane or blasphemous things. Jehoshaphat is someone from the Bible. The king's name in the oath, jumping Jehoshaphat. Was likely popularized by the name's utility as a euphemism for Jesus or Jehovah. Yeah, so it's... Instead, it's a very old phrase for king, or used in place of king sometimes, that sounds close enough to Jehovah and Jesus that it was used in a similar way we would say Jesus Christ. That's pretty much it. Well, that seems to be what it is. Order, order, order! This sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong? Or perhaps he just drew it wrong? Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong. With someone like Larice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But then that begs the question. Why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? you saying you know the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Maurice was doing when he witnessed this event? He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. He waited and waited, and finally he laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now ponder what sort of position Maurice must have been in at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did. He was lying on his back? I can't see how it relates. But it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down. Ah! Ugh, no way. Maurice Junim witnessed the event while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. I cannot fucking believe it. My grandma exclusively says Jiminy Christmas is our only swear word. Yeah, well, I mean, it would probably be used in a similar way to that. So then, this sketch should actually... I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Maurice Junim's sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge. It was actually swinging below. That's right, just like a pendulum. Order! All the things to say. A pendulum? The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. And a pendulum was the only way to get it done. Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yes, that sounds right. In order to cover that distance with a pendulum, you need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you have to plan ahead. Nope. The lightning strike that night can only have been an accident, so it doesn't make sense that the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, they didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them. What? I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there. In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum? I mean, it's just the photo again, isn't it? Because, like, there's a rope. And it would be long enough to at least make it to the cliff, because it's the suspension wire in the overview of the map that's in the bottom right, because it like fell away ages ago. So it's either this or the photo of the map, I think. But I'm confident it's yeah. And the meaning of this is, if you want to know where the rope came from, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard. Ah! This is one of the wires from the bridge. When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around Elise Junim's body. Holy fucking shit. Because there was simply no other way to move the body. Huh. He also stress drinks coffee like this, so... The man drinks a lot of coffee during a day, especially a court day. Mr. Godot? Seems that Mr. Godot is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. Seems that the odds of a rope being readily available were very high, so I suppose that it's not an impossibility after all. Objection! Possible or impossible? That's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question. Did that really happen? Trite. I wonder if you could prove what happened to us. Do you have any actual evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum? Maybe?
Take that!
Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Yep. Looking at the map, we can see it's the one that was in front of the inner temple. So then, that was the spot where the criminal... Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. If the body was pushed from this point here, it would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point. Did you say drop? Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank. What? What makes you think something like that happened? Because I have evidence that shows her body dropped some distance. What kind of evidence? Take a look at this autopsy report. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after her death. 10 feet, huh? That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose. Oh yeah, there was that too. That's why it's in the snow. That's... Yes, this blood-stained amethyst crystal. It's the one that came off Miss Elise Dunim's staff. And even more important is the place where this crystal sphere was found. Indeed. I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. Yeah, it's right next to the suspension line. Crystal was found... Ah! Precisely, Your Honor. In the very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. Holy fucking shit. This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with the way the body could have been moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Ah, that's what that sounds. Mr. Wright! I thought this cold coffee might help cool you down. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godot? That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Trite. But you forgot about one thing. Oh? And what would that be? The aroma. Huh? A coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak coffee. Can you elaborate a bit more? If the criminal had sent that body to the other side, like you say, then naturally there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it. An accomplice? The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge, so who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Trite? That's true. Mr. Godot is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do. Yes, Your Honor. The body couldn't have made it to Hazagura Temple without an accomplice. Very well then, if you please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body on the Hazagura Temple side? That had to have been Iris. Right? Because if... Okay, let's discount Iris's testimony for a second. If the bridge was burning down and they couldn't cross it, then whoever sent the body across could not have gotten to the other side. Right? So... The fact that we found Iris on the non-temple side, non-inner temple side, means that she was on that side of the bridge before the bridge it burnt down, and is the only way she could have moved the body there. It can only be you, Sister Iris. Huh? Ah! But I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the only one that could have managed it.
Objection!
Trite. Were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on cleanup duty in a temple garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath.
Objection!
I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was also seen at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim. Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that night, the defendant was in 2 different places at the same time. Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony? Mention what? The pendulum, of course. Using this sketch drawn by an eyewitness, I've established how the body was moved using the burnt-out bridge, which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known. No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum. Funny, that. But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help, so you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with. What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright? What? What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying this witness isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple?
Objection!
Are you serious, Trite? You mean this woman is? There's no one besides Iris that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there at the witness stand, her real name is...
Take that!
I never thought I'd have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Hawthorne? Sister Iris had a twin sister, and you're looking at her, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. That name rings some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless. Huh. It's just your imagination, Gramps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh yes, I remember now. That case, 5 years ago. My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presences. The honor is all mine. No, the honor is all mine. But according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month. I didn't actually think... Hold on, what's going on here? I'm actually struggling to grasp... What is Phoenix implying here? Like, is Iris channeling Dahlia to make it seem like Iris was on the other side when she couldn't have possibly been? I didn't think that Iris could actually channel... So what? Death has no meaning in this courtroom. What? That's appropriate for Godot to say. Order, order, order. Wait a moment. How can you... My sister, she's already dead. What kind of...
Objection!
You of all people should already understand, after all. Wait. Hold on. Was Pearls not able to summon Dahlia Hawthorne because she's not dead? Oh my god! Wait! No! I don't know who she was meant to channel. And she got a photo, but we never confirmed whether that photo looked like them. And if they're twins and they look alike... Wait, no, didn't Pearls say that the name was Dahlia Hawthorne, though? I think Pearls specifically said... You of all people should already understand. After all, blood of the master of the Korean channeling technique flows within that body. What? Korean channeling technique? Wait, is that... Hold on. Korean channeling technique? Where have I heard that? That's right, you're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium. What an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. You're asking us to buy the Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to a temple where her twin sister Iris was? Well, if you're going to put things that way, then yes.
Objection!
We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happens. Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written here in these instructions. What's that? These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. Part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Asakura Temple. 2 of them. Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words, 10 PM. However, Iris was seen before dinner time. That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris, and the Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her, namely, one Dahlia Hawthorne. Yep.
Objection!
Like, I guess I didn't think too much about the fact that Iris was changing her testimony so drastically as literally contradicting what we've already kind of established. Because, like, we threw away the statement, so I was like, oh, okay, so we're starting from the beginning again? But no, like, we actually established all this. I really should have, like, kept that in mind. Do you even know what you're saying, Trite? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true that you found plans to talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing in the witness stand is the real Iris. It could be Iris just channeling Dahlia. I mean, she could also be lying about... She could also be lying about the fact that she can channel. Because I think we established that she can't, but... Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, the Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike. It was later that the body was moved by Pentagon. That's right. Naturally, that would mean that the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far? Yes. After being notified of what happened, the police came to Hazakura Temple's main hall. There, they found Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center. Yes, I suppose. Can't deny any of that. Thank goodness. Looks like he's finally convinced. Something still seems off. Way off. I'm still not convinced that the Iris here is the same one from the other night. I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous. Like, the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switched places. Switched places? To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand. But I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue this trial. Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia. Which means they must have switched places somewhere. How the fuck does that happen, though? Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hasakura Temple, have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne? But how would they... Oh. There was one. Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance. Oh? Explain yourself. Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris's whereabouts were unknown. Unknown? What do you mean? What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely, unsupervised. Well, who was it? Who would give a murderer suspect time to move about freely like that? I'm sorry. I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. The person who gave Iris the chance to freely move about was...
Take that!
Edgeworth. This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it? Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not? An earthquake? Yeah. How could I have... She fled. She escaped. We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, Iris was already there. So Iris put up more locks, but Dahlia was the one who was in Iris's body? So it was actually impossible for her to unlock? That would... However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne. That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here. No judge in his right mind would consider the idea of spirit channeling and... Be quiet. Well, there she is. It's been a long time, Mr. Judge. That voice... Guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules. Dahlia Hawthorne. And my current profession? Permanently retired. Huh. So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, huh? Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's really nothing you can do to punish me. What is going on here? Dahlia Hawthorne. Never thought we'd meet again, and I never thought we'd meet like this. But this time, I'll end it. For her, and for myself. Oh shit. Oh my god, it's been 2 hours. I mean, I'm gonna keep going, but, yeah, I'm gonna take, like, a quick minute break here just to, oh, I already did that. Just to stretch my legs, because it has been a bit. turn in since midnight here. No worries, North. I appreciate you sticking around. Hope you have a good one. Have a good sleep. Now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness, I want to get to some music, damn it. Yes, how can I help you, Mr. Judge? Well, it seems that if we're to learn the truth, we'll need to hear your testimony. I have no problem with that. But when you've seen what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown. In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about the plan that was carried out that night. Alright, there's some music. Alright, I'm gonna take, yeah. Actually, no, I don't really care. Well, actually, no, I do need to at least stretch my legs, so I'm just gonna be 1 sec. Alright, let's continue on. Oh my god, this fucking chair. The whole plan began with my death. A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. But for it to work, Maya Fay would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway. So that means you really are... Wait a minute. Did you just say the plan was to kill Maya Fay? Yes, you have a problem with that? Don't give us that nonsense. There's no way that... Watch yourself, trite. If you've got a problem, solve it during cross-examination. That's one of my rules. Mr. Godot is correct. And by the way, that's one of my rules as well. To kill Maya. Could it be true? The whole plan began with my death, a stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. But for it to work, Maya Fey would have to die. Would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on Iris. Wrong. Maya would have to die. But why? For our bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master. The remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of.
Objection!
But Pearls would never agree to a plan like that. She adores Maya. How sad. You still don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master. That's all. That's ridiculous. She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. The life of her daughter. And naturally, the life of Maya Fey as well. How could anyone do that? The idea was for me to kill Iris. You were going to kill Maya? Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was to follow the instructions and let her and channel me. Then I would have simply used her body and finished the job. In any case, I'm already dead, and there's nothing any of you can do to me. So the plan was to blame the crime on your younger twin, and Sister Iris of Huzzle Temple. She and I look absolutely identical. No one could tell us apart. If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally they would think it was Iris that had done it. And the witness in this case was the head nun. The witness in this case was the head nun, Sister Bikini. I never would have guessed she was going to return to Hazakura Temple that night, but she wound up seeing Iris's crime anyway. But why did you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She's your twin sister, isn't she? Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her. Backstabber? You just don't understand. You never will. Anyway. Plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway. You think the plan was a success? You heard me. Just as that woman had hoped. Maya Fey is dead. Now the title of the Master will pass on to Pearl Fey. That's absurd. Maya is just... She's just trapped. Trapped inside the sacred cavern. Really? You're as foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you? My darling Feeny. Do you want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I've despised you. Your sniveling naivete and your pathetic faith in other people. I can't believe it. She meant to kill Maya. Got to keep a cool head. And I need to get more information out of her. It's the only way to understand this plan, what she was after as well. You were executed last month, correct? Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant. How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fay? Last year, she was transferred to the same detention center as me. Since I was on death row and she was my mother, it was actually pretty easy to meet with her. I see. So that's why that's when you discussed the plan? Huh. Are you crazy? At first that woman was planning to kill me as well. Even though I'm her own daughter. Or to make Pearl Fay the Master of Kurain? She's a cold, twisted woman. She thought she could finally regain her lost honor. The honor she lost when her younger sister, Misty, took her place as the Master. Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan. A plan, huh? You're talking about Pearl Fay, is that correct? Yes, though at first she had high hopes for the two of us. You and your twin sister, Iris? That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our father. Abandoned? The only person I ever really cared about in life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple. You mean Iris Yes, my father remarried a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? Wow, I hate everyone involved in this case. Everyone is scum. Holy shit. Know what I'm doing after the stream. Yeah, I've been looking forward to his breakdown of that. Seems like it's going to be wild. And on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general. How horrible. The really horrible one was that woman. That bitter, vengeful woman. It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Faye. She was born with an abundance of spiritual power, unfortunately for her. Morgan Faye heaped all of her broken hopes and dreams onto that poor child's back. All because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family. I just want to know one thing. What did you personally think of Morgan Faye's plan? I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point, no value other than fulfilling her own greedy desires. Yes, it was certainly nothing to be proud of. If that's how you feel, why did you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya? To spite Mia. You may not understand it, but being the kind, gentle soul that you are, you may not be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that. So then tell me, why? Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only act in my own self-interest. The reason I helped her was for myself, for my own personal satisfaction. What did you say? So this woman, Dahlia Hawthorne, she had her own reason for wanting Maya dead? She sure fucking did. Do you understand why I would kill Maya Fey now? What my goal was? Obviously, it's because you are helping Morgan Fey. Phoenix. Helping? Don't make me laugh. From the day I was born to the day I died, I never helped anyone. I lived for myself, and in the end, I died for myself. I thought that was obvious. So she wasn't actually cooperating with Morgan. She was just using Morgan and her plan so she could accomplish her own goal. All I wanted to do was kill Maya Fey. That was the only way I could think of to get revenge. Revenge? Looks like I had no choice but to present that piece of evidence. Can't believe it. She meant to kill... Oh. I mean...
Objection!
Yeah. Could it be that your actual goal had nothing to do with Maya Fey herself? As I said, none of you have the power to punish me anymore. Because I'm already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead, and you can't take revenge against them either. You wanted to take revenge on someone? I was sentenced to die because of that woman, Mia Fey. Somehow knew this was it. I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up. And the reason it was impossible? Was it perhaps because Mia Fey had already died? Yes, and I realized there's only one way to take revenge against the dead. And how do you do that? Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on, forever. I wanted to take away the person that Mia Fey loved most. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. That would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with that woman's plan. Just for that? For that you would kill Maya? Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Fey. As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What a cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless. Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you, there's not a thing you can do to me. Grr. That night, at about 9:30 PM, I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair up and put on a demon warding hood. 9:30. Then I picked up the staff that was by my... Elise did channel her. Fuck. Then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple. So, it was Elise Junim who channeled her after all. That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing. She left Maya Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back, clutching her old back. Poor old back. What did you do then? That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and... So then you... You're saying you stabbed Maya? It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. What does that mean? No clear memory? I don't know. I think I was stabbed. You were stabbed? At the last minute, Maya Fey must have stabbed me. I'm sure of it. That's not like her at all. Maya wouldn't stab a French fry with a plastic fork. Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. But before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her. I can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end. That's where my memory temporarily stops. It stops? I don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Fey with my own two hands. My very last memory was... Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern surrounded by darkness. You were in the sacred cavern? The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow I had been trapped in there. Did Maya channel you? But how did you wind up in there? I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Maya Fey was dead, and I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew I had killed her myself. For a ghost, you're one tough cookie. I wanted to get out of there and make sure she was dead, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out. The trick lock stopped you, huh? I didn't know how to remove it. So then you're saying you were actually confined against your will inside this sacred cavern? Yes, I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible, but it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it. Interrupted? It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall. What? Who? Could it have been Maya? I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see. Why not? If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the sacred cavern. That morning, only 2 people had gone into the training hall. Maya and Pearls. Pearls went there to cover the hanging scroll and gravy. Still, I finally managed to remove the lock. But I was too late. What do you mean by that? The flies had already started to gather. The bridge had been fixed and the police had started their investigation, correct? Oh, the bridge had been fixed and the police had started their investigation, correct? Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up. Lady Luck? After that big earthquake, she showed up, all by herself. Iris. The real Iris? She said she'd come to make sure the sacred cavern was alright. Stupid girl. I came out from the sacred cavern and got a feel for the situation. and I locked her away in my place. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm back. The fuck I miss? A lot. So, Dahlia is channeled by Elise. She confronts Maya to kill her. She blacks out before she can confirm what happened. She wakes up inside the sacred cavern and tries to get out, does all this stuff. And it sounds like she physically swapped places with Iris. Which means that Iris is in the sacred cavern. But the reason that Dahlia was in the sacred cavern was because she was channeled again. Like, Elise's body was discovered somewhere else, so Dahlia couldn't have been there anymore. Is the person on the stand Maya? I think that tracks? I finally learned exactly what had happened. It was then that I learned that the plan had actually succeeded. What do you mean your plan had succeeded? I had misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me, I had assumed that it was Pearl Fay. Well, of course you would have assumed that. It was written in the instructions. But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was Misty Fay, the picture book author. What? Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I lost consciousness in the garden, it was her body that was left lying there. Maya Fay. I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands, after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit. And that is? Matricide. The sin of killing her own mother. Ugh. No way! Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of this? It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Fay, but even so, the murderer who actually snuffed out Misty Fay's life was none other than your darling little Maya. I don't believe that for a second. Ridiculous. That's nonsense. Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there? What? What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence? The fact that Maya Fay has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it? Huh? The idea that she's still in the sacred cavern is just ridiculous. Thank you. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple, that much is obvious. In that case, there is only one place she could be. Where? Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of the Eagle River. Where else? Oh. Dahlia, you don't know who you're being channeled by. Eagle River? Maya Fay killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. Except you and Phoenix. You know. So what do you have to say now, Feeny? Oops. His own theme is his ringtone! Fuck! Oops. Sorry, that's my phone. What kind of ringtone is that? Godot here. Okay, thanks. Was it something important? They just finished removing the locks from the sacred cavern. That's great. What about Maya? Iris is the one in there. Yeah, that's pretty good. There was a woman in the cave. Was it Maya Fey? It was the accused, Sister Iris. Thank you. Maya is on the stand right now. I'm betting that's it. That's what's happening. Huh? Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just finished telling you that. So, what about Maya? Where is she? There was no one else found inside the sacred cavern. No, it can't be. I'm actually really surprised Dahlia hasn't put this together. I told you, didn't I? She's dead. Or she's playing Phoenix, really. No. No! It seems that this case has come to an end. A tragic end. Is Maya channeling Dahlia? That's my theory at the moment. Sadly, it appears the killer of Alistu Nim, also known as Misty Fey, was her own daughter, Maya Fey. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Fey jumped to her death into the raging waters of the Eagle River. It can't be. Huh. Can't Godot. If anyone's got an ass pull for this, it's you. Try. Have you ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. No matter how improbable it may seem. What is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godot? According to this witness, Maya Fey threw herself into the river. However, is that really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden, which means if Maya had thrown herself into the river, it must have been from the inner temple side, near the bridge. That's right, that's where she jumped from. Oh, you made the same mistake you made last time, you dumbass. There's not water there, on that side. But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there. And you would know, Godot, wouldn't you? What? Don't get your panties all twisted up, Trite. Just relax and think through the whole thing again. So it's impossible. Maya couldn't have thrown herself into Eagle River. Well, Mr. Wright, Hawthorne claims Miss Fate threw herself into the river from the inner temple side. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim? The fucking bridge. It's impossible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side. No one knows that better than this witness. Or at least she fucking should. What did you say? 11 years ago, you jumped into the very same river. Just take a look at this overhead map. There it is. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf. Oh, you're right. She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we should be able to see her body in this photo. Don't know about that, but yeah. So you finally figured it out. You... No! It's funny because, like, in any other courtroom, Dahlia might have gotten away with that, but there is literally a person in the courtroom right now that knows about the details of that case. And it's not Phoenix. Order! Order! You're just playing with me. Maya Fey's body is at the bottom of the Eagle River. There's nowhere else she could possibly be hiding. Miss Hawthorne. Have you ever heard this one before? Phoenix, no. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Yes, just a few minutes ago. Maya Fey wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We now know that she didn't throw herself into the Eagle River. Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be. What? What is this one possibility you are talking about? That's obviously a bluff. So where is her dead body then? Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally the living have no way to punish the dead, but I think there is a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where Maya is? Maya is this very instant. Mia Fey is in this very courtroom. There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom. What? Maya Fey is here? You say she's here in my courtroom? Dahlia Hawthorne. I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see. So what? But I think there's one more thing you misunderstood. What do you mean? Tell me something. At this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne? Why, that's obvious. It's Pearl Fey, that pathetic little shriveling runt. You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it. Never failed to channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. Isn't there any explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit? It could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit. Someone called me before Pearl did. But who? Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clearer to you right about now. Am I correct? Ah! It wasn't Pearls that channeled you. There was someone who called you before she could.
Take that!
Fucking Maya, let's fucking go. This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Fey is gone. There's only one possibility left. Come on already, I can't stand this tension. Dahlia Hawthorne. The person channeling you right now must be Maya Fey. What? How could that be? Remember what this witness Dahlia Hawthorne said about her goal? She said that her goal was to kill Maya Fey. Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her... Well, Gramps, what would happen? Would it be? Looks like you finally understand, Your Honor. Well, I don't. What are you going on about? What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you. And there's only one reason. To protect herself from you. To protect herself? From me? Yes. On the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Fey. The path back to Hasakura Temple was closed off and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became, where would be the safest place to hide? You mean that's when she channeled me? All this time you thought you had been channeled by Pearls. That's why it never occurred to you that Maya's hiding place was you. No, don't say that! She's actually breaking even more. You're saying that Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little whelp? Maya Fey killed herself. Isn't it obvious? Sorry, but no. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple. I don't believe you. A stupid little girl like that who has never been out in the real world. She could never have come up with a plan like that. Oh. Oh no. Did she talk to Misty? Oh, I think we're about to go on Sad Street. Who could have even given her such a brilliant idea? Well, me, of course. Mia? Oh, okay. Wait. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Did Pearls channel Mia that night? It's been a long time, Dahlia. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. So it's true. It was you. Yes. Huh. You're something else. But what? What are you doing here? That hair. It's Pearls, right? Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the Inner Temple's garden. And then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. By God, it's Mia with the chair! Fuck. Oh, that's the... I just got the dumbest image of, like, Mia Fey walking down the ramp in Pearl's body with a fucking steel chair gonna brain Dahlia in the back of the head. Fuck. I was stabbed by Maya Fey. Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you. She did? Dear God, that woman had a revenge plot. She sure fucking did. Oh, not terribly surprised since she was about to be killed. When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help, so she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do. She did that? I can't believe it. Of course, I didn't have all the details, but one thing was perfectly clear. And that was? I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free. Free? What do you mean? It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrived. So it was Maya who put that lock on there. Yes, but why did you order her to do those 2 things? If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Fey. Pearls? Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan, so all she was trying to do was follow her mother, Morgan Fey's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly. So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Fey to kill Maya at all costs. Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the intent all along. How dare you! I won't forget this. Why not just admit it? Dahlia Hawthorne, your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say? What do you mean by another? Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure. What? How dare you? 11 years ago... fake kidnapping, your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but... After Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed. Shut your mouth. That wasn't my fault. It was because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman. And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but... you wound up killing someone else. As a result, you were sentenced to death. It's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny. You! Wipe that smug, happy-go-looking smile off your face. And now this. You've messed up again. You let Maya Fey escape, even though she was right there in front of you. Mia Fey. Mia Fey, Mia Fey, Mia Fey! You spinster! I was supposed to kill Maya Fey like I swore I would. If only you had gotten this spiky-haired jerk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death. True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What? What did you say? Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all of eternity. I can't believe we are literally watching a spirit feud. God almighty. Fuck, I said God twice. Ah, I gotcha. Remember what you said earlier in the trial? You said that there was no way we could punish you, because you were already dead. Medium beef. What about it? Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who could never win at anything. And for you, there is no escape from that. No hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you is burnt to a crisp. You're wrong. It can't be. How could I lose to the likes of you? It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. Well, here we go. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to go. That was a really neat visual of her text box literally dying. Hell yeah. Nick. Sis. Uh-oh. That's bad. Now then. I imagine the judge is just sitting there like... Okay. So what's happening with the trial now? I assume you are the real Iris?
Yes, I was just rescued from the sacred cavern.
I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne? If you ask me, Your Honor, looks like she went back to the hell she came from. Seems that Misty Faye wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Faye, as well as the young Pearl Faye, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again. Your Honor? Yes, what is it? About this whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now. I mean, it's not like he presided over literally every, like I said, throw the whole lady away. Yeah, well, I mean, that's a pretty definitive way to throw the whole lady away. She was literally banished and burnt, and her soul expunged. I think we're good now. It's almost weird how comfortable using the concept now. Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the Curain channeling technique. Hey, isn't that the New Year's issue of Occult? Seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench. In all that time, I finally learned this one thing. Each case is different and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ. Never thought of it that way. At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of the Hasakura Temple.
Objection!
I guess we still haven't established who killed Misty. Like, we solved the whole thing with Dahlia, and yeah, good fucking riddance to her, but... Still the minor case of the murder that occurred we haven't solved yet. You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor. What do you mean by that, Mr. Godot? This trial, it isn't over yet. That's what he means. What? Trite. Remember what Miss Evil's spirit said in her testimony. Huh? Dahlia's testimony? I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and... It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. You're too thick for those clothes. Yeah, well, I mean, she is wearing fucking Pearl's clothes, which... I'm not going to get started on that. Everyone knows how I feel about that. It's a bit weird. Also, hello, Stark. How's it going? Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone. Yes, that's right. The person who was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. At least you did. No, Misty Faye. But, who killed her? We still don't know who did it. This isn't over? Yeah, you and me both, Phoenix. So, how's it going? We've been in for a ride. I don't know if we're even halfway through this trial, to be honest. Like, obviously there's still more to uncover, but god damn, this is going. Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. You can't let her walk until there is evidence that proves her innocence. No way. But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony. The prosecution is ready to call our final witness. Final witness? This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Faye. Indeed. Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor? Of course it's alright, Madam Attorney. Very well, then. Who is this final witness? Huh. Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case. Someone who saw the murder take place? The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes. You mean Maya? You can't. She can't testify after what she's been through. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Fey to the witness stand. Very well. But first, we'll take a brief recess. I'll have to wait for Miss Fey to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial. Hey, Trite. I've got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak by without a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. You've got some nerve. But that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself. That's enough. This court is now in recess.
I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me, but I was missing all day and we didn't even have a chance to talk.
She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern.
I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on.
Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did? Huh? If you had tried to get help at the sacred cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there.
My sister... I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by our mother and never got any love from our father either.
Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it?
Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakura Temple. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her.
Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago?
Yes. I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But, as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute, I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister, Valerie, ended up...
That was the case that wounded Mia so badly.
But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder.
Some people? You must mean...
Yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth. Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You.
That's right. Iris, there's one more thing that I have to ask you.
Yes, what is it?
On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Dunin, was it really you?
Yes, it was me. That night, after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone.
There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away.
I got on the snowmobile and headed for the inner temple, but...
Yep.
The path to the inner temple was cut off.
Well, the path to the inner temple was cut off, right?
Exactly.
Can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do this exactly as I say, got it? There she goes.
It was me. I was the one that received her body. the murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much.
Right.
The staff that Mystic Elise always held.
I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff.
Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile.
But why? Why did you alter the body?
I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Faye. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the Shichishido. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground.
Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone. The real killer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it.
I see. So, the actual weapon used to murder the victim. Defendant?
Yes?
The judge is calling you. The judge is calling you. He wants you to see you in his chambers. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne.
Alright. Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you.
Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me? So it's true. I was cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning.
Phoenix.
Mia? How is Maya doing?
Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case.
I see. You don't mean she's learned who released Tunim really was?
Yes. I went to the medical office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew.
But why?
Myra's stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it.
What do you mean by that?
I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer. Do you know who it is yet? Iris wouldn't tell me who killed her, but still. I think that just maybe I know who it was.
That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the Inner Temple, and the criminal wasn't just there by accident, which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. Feb 10, your birthday. Yeah, it's finally upon us.
And one more thing. The victim was moved to the Hazakura Temple side by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the Inner Temple side for almost an entire day.
Exactly. So the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day.
That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win. Or lose.
Okay. I've got it.
Thank you, Mia.
Finally. It's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? And who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me. All by myself. I'm actually really confused as to who it is at this point. God damn it. This is really a part 3. Fucking Christ. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna look at that thing that told me, like, at least how much time was left. Oh no.
No, 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 no,
God damn it! Oof. Oh, wait, I already had it open. That's why it didn't open. Yeah. I tried to, like, Control-Shift-T to reopen tabs, but, yeah. Didn't work out. It's about... It seems like it's about as long. As what we just did. Yeah, I can't do another 3 hours, and this is probably the most difficult bit of the case, and I don't actually know... Like, I can't... Yeah, I'm actually at a loss. Like, I'm not sure who the killer could be at this point, and I feel like I'm gonna get stuck a lot, so maybe this is better to do another day when I have more time. That sucks. This was... Do you have Monday off? Is Memorial Day just a US thing? Memorial Day is just a US thing. I don't have that off. My next, like, my next day off is, like... Or my next, like, Monday off is... Not next weekend, but the weekend after, I think. So yeah, like, I don't have an extra day to kind of do that. Yeah, so I think this is going to be where I wrap it up then, because, I don't have the time to go through the next bit. Like, especially if it's any, like, if I had a good idea of who did it, I might go through with it, but since I have no idea, I'm probably going to get stuck, so it's a good crunch spot too. Yeah. Yeah. We'll just have to continue this next weekend. Yeah, so, during the week, not too sure about streams. It's really going to depend on, lockdown and that. If it gets extended, I'll have to obviously set up to be around a little longer, or have my work stuff here a bit longer, which means I will be able to stream. If it is going to be finished by the end of this week, which it hopefully would, then I probably won't stream during the week because I'll move all my stuff out and then I won't have to move anything. So it might just be that, like, I do a Thursday night and Friday night streams of something. Don't know what yet. But next weekend we'll be finishing this off and starting a new game. And it's gonna be the Nonary games. I'm gonna play through those next. Yeah, because they're another game series that I really wanted to get into because of some things I've heard, and it's very spoiler heavy from what I understand too. So, like, I want to try and get that done soon. Yeah, like, I guess, like, mostly I've been prioritizing a lot of stuff that, like, clearly, like, I can't watch anything about this unless I've already played through it and got my kind of mileage out of it. So I want to try and do those first, and then once there's a gap, probably do something else. But yeah, I'll figure that out when I get to it. Dante and Virgil continue to cry. That would probably be a during the week stream, I'm not gonna lie. We'll see what happens. If I can't think of any other narrative games to play during the weekends, then, like, yeah, maybe that'll fit in there nicely. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. More next weekend, finishing this up, and maybe some stuff during the week. I had hoped to be on a more, yeah, DMC, yeah. I don't know when I'm gonna do that, though. Yeah. It'll be a good time. I just gotta find, like... I just gotta figure out whether it's gonna be better to do on weekends or during the week. That's the thing I'm trying to, yeah, figure out. So have a good one. Thanks, Charles. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good one, too. But yeah, that's gonna be me.
So thank you very much for watching live or on the VODs. I really appreciate it. I hope you'll have a lovely day, and I hope to see you all next time.